What was thought to be a 3-week evidence hearing turned into a highly divisive 5-week proceeding in front of Fairbanks Judge Paul Lyle.
But no, we're innocent. I'm tired of this.
The men who have come to be known as the Fairbanks Four have long sought their convictions be overturned, and after an inmate at a California prison and former Fairbanks man confessed to the homicide of John Hartman, they got their chance.
Everybody gotta be quiet, and then he said, if everybody ain't quiet, we're gonna have to kill the others.
It took nearly 2 years, but the trial brought back many key players from the Fairbanks Police Department and District Attorney's Office as they were questioned about their work on the case.
This is a fairly significant mistake because this is the first time that Marvin Roberts' name comes up in the police report, right?
Yes, and his name hadn't come up in the investigation yet.
Of course, the confession by Bill Holmes took center stage, but the man he claims actually brutally beat Hartman to death, Jason Wallace, refused to take the stand until he was secured a deal of immunity with the Attorney General's office.
Make it clear once again, just for the record and for everybody, I'm not cooperating with the state.
In the final weeks of the trial, he was granted that request, but denied knowing anyone who had testified, including past high school friends, and having anything to do with the murder.
I did not kill John Hartman, or was I ever involved in the killing of John Hartman.
The state's own investigators criticized their case and were thus taken off of it long before they were finished. But the state claims they've unearthed evidence that upholds the convictions.
That would be the reasons of why we are taking tennis shoes out to a dumpster and getting rid of them is because of what Marvin told his uncle.
That evidence remains in question as the murder of Hartman yielded no physical evidence in October of '97.
Just to be clear, this is the first time you've ever seen this report?
Yeah, I've never seen this.
And nobody's ever told you about the contents of this report?
I did not know, and I still don't know what the results are, so.
One of the most explosive pieces of testimony came from the state's witness, Matt Ellsworth. Ellsworth was set to refute the claims that Wallace had confessed to him shortly after the Hartman homicide, like many others.
There was a story that led up to an event in the past recent crime, a recent murder. It was described as a young Caucasian boy that was beaten to death by Jason Wallace. He made statements referring to this crime.
Judge Paul Lyle will now decide the fate of the 4 men after closing arguments, scheduled for tomorrow morning. This is Stephanie Woodard reporting.